I'm Hunter.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin. I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Showdown!
Wow, wow, wow. Top 10. Time to have some potato chips, people. Oh, yeah. Welcome. Good evening. Good morning. Happy afternoon. Happy middle of the night.
I didn't flip the thing, so we can't stare at ourselves.
You have to just look at the little circle.
Oh. Hello.
What's up?
So
How's it going?
So funny thing about this list, we actually made this list.
November 2019.
Yeah, and we never filmed it.
Because we're lazy. No, actually, we had something going on. Actually, I think I got sick because it was November.
Yeah.
I always get sick in November, right around BGG
So we
time.
ended up not filming it, but I completely redid my list. I think you just modified yours.
Mine got mixed up quite a bit, actually.
Okay.
There were some similarities, for sure. But...
So, by potato chip games, if you haven't deduced what that means, it means games that you want to play over and over again. So, like, you play it once, you're like, hey, let's do this again. And you load it up and play again. And you go, hey, one more time. And you play again.
This is really fun.
Before you know it, you played 4 or 5 times, right? So, we made this list a while back, like, for real, and filmed it, like, 3 years ago.
Wow, see, it doesn't seem like it's been 3 years. It's another one of those time warp things. I feel like we did this last year.
Yeah, so we did this, like, I think 3 years ago. Anyway, yeah, I'm curious. So this was probably one of the hardest lists for me to make.
Why?
Do you know why? Can you guess why?
You don't like light games, and heavy games are not usually the kind that you're like, let's play that again after 3.5 hours.
That factored into it, but I don't like, for the most part, I don't like playing games over and over. I want to play different games.
That's true, too. That's also very much you.
You can play the same game like 7 times in a row.
I can.
I play one game, it's like, okay, what can I explore or try out next or do? You know,
Yeah, you're ready to move on,
Yeah.
and I'm like, let's do it again.
So
yeah,
so it's fairly
makes sense.
uncommon. I struggled to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games. I struggled to put 13 games on together.
Mine was tough to make on the complete opposite side of the spectrum because I'm like, I like to replay lots of games. And I tried very hard not to just pick all party games because there's a lot of different board games that aren't party genre that I also tend to be like, hey, I want to play that again. So I try to mix it up and put a little bit of everything in there. So, but yeah, it's so easy. Party games are meant to do that. I think.
Oh my gosh! I just realized I got an asterisk.
Oh, I can't wait!
I just thought of one.
Oh, I can't wait! I'm
oh my
so
gosh!
excited.
I completely missed it because it's in a obscure place in our collection.
The asterisk isn't mine this time.
I walked through the collection and wrote them all down, and I completely missed a section of our board games.
Oh, I think I know which one it is.
But she'll talk about it, so it's okay.
I will.
So yeah, it was really difficult for me to do that. It is very uncommon that I want to play a game more than once. So, and also I have our prior list. So at the end, I'll kind of compare and contrast the previous list with our current list. And looking at our previous list, games we were playing at the time kind of dominated the list, whereas a lot of those games we've moved on from at this point.
That's funny. Yes, that's true. I could see that.
All right,
Mine's an interesting blend.
All right, let's do this. A top 10 potato chip games. She calls them popcorn games. I call them potato chip games.
This probably, I think the more common one is potato chip because, like, the Lay's potato chip thing, you cannot just eat one.
Yeah.
Or Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Yep. All right. So my number 10.
Brought to you by.
You gotta remember how to do this. I always forget. Oh, here we go.
Sponsored.
Oh wait, I gotta hold on. Give me 1 second.
Oh, the irony of can't stop. I should have put that as number 1 just because.
All right. My number 10 is Onitama.
Yeah.
Onitama. I don't think we've ever played this game just once.
Nope.
I don't think every time we've sat down to play this game, we've never played it one time.
Absolutely.
That's the only reason why it makes this list, because it's not like one of my super favorite games. I like the game.
But you instantly are like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to do a different cards.
Because you want to try different cards, right? And different
yeah.
combination of cards.
Yep.
So, yeah, that one's a fun one. If you know what Onitama is, it's kind of like a abbreviated chess game. So you have like five little figures per side, a king and 4 pawns. I'm sure they got other names, sensei and ninjas. I don't know what they are.
I like your rewriting of this.
But the
game,
way the figures move is based on cards. So there's 5 cards. You'll have 2 in front of you. Your opponent will have 2 in front of them, and there's 1 to the side. So you use one of your cards and you move one of your figures based on what's on the card. Then that card replaces the one on the side, and you take the one on the side in your hand, and then they play one, and it just kind of rotates through all the cards. So there's not only is there the strategy of just moving the pieces and trying to win the game, but it's also knowing what cards you're going to be giving your opponent, because eventually one of your cards after 2 turns is going to cycle to them. And could that be a good card for them? You may want to just hold a card and not even use it just to keep your opponent from getting it. So it's a cool little game. I think we have everything in the world for Onitama that exists at this point. It's a really fun game.
Yeah, and I agree. Spoiler, that is on my short list.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Could have been on your shorter list.
It could have been, but it's not.
All right, what's your number 10?
My number 10 is Time's Up Title Recall. Now, the reason it's not like number 1 is because I don't know why these games energize me, and I will play them until, like a toddler, I'll just pass out on the floor wherever I happen to be at. However, most of the people that are playing with me probably don't return that same sentiment and that energy to the game most of the time. So usually, if you're playing the actual game and not just playing it to play it, once, maybe twice, and everybody's done and good to go. Me, on the other hand, I'd be like, I'll play it again. I'm ridiculous. But
see, I'm already seeing a trend with your list. It's the same trend as your last list.
Is it?
It's games you want to play over and over again, but we rarely play over and over again.
No, this one's the only one that's like that.
I've never played Time's Up Total Recall twice in a row, ever.
Well, that's why this is my number 10.
Because once I'm done with that game, I'm exhausted.
Everyone's
and want to face plant.
Except for me, because I'm ridiculous. Like I said,
I could probably play it again, but you kind of got to rebuild that energy again.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You go through this build up, this crescendo. That word at the end, and then you have to start the whole process again. It's like, and usually you're playing this late at night and being goofy, and you're exhausted, and I don't know. But it's a good one. I would play it multiple times.
Yeah, this is the only one that I don't frequently get to play over and over again.
So your last list was a list of games we've never played twice in a row.
Oh, really? Oh, see, this is the only one. This is the only one.
Which we'll go over at the end. But yeah, it's funny because I looked at the list. I'm like, did we play any of these games multiple times? No.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because I would totally play this game over and over to exhaustion.
All right. Onward to my number 9. My number 9 is Timeline.
You know what? Mm-hmm.
So the reason this one's so low because we really don't play it too much anymore because we play Timeline Challenge.
We like the board
game more than just Timeline. But every time we've played Timeline, it's like we crack open one and play it, and we crack open another box and play that one, and we crack open another box and play that. I know they're slightly different games, but it's basically the same game.
They're the same game.
But now they're all shuffled together,
which makes it really cool,
into one big deck for Timeline Challenge. So we really don't play Timeline by itself anymore. Yeah, but the last
time we pulled that out to play it, I think it was like Thanksgiving or something. We ended up playing it multiple times.
Right, and then
we always do.
And we have Cardline, which is in the same genre that we haven't shuffled together that we play.
Yeah, we used to play it multiple times too. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. What is this graphic that's on our computer now? It's driving. It's like.
Huh? That's all the analytics. You have the analytics.
I don't know what it's got.
It's showing you concurrent viewers. Don't look at it. Quit look at
this
the
little graph is like drawing my attention over. It's like, ooh, what's this little graph that's going along? It's like real time graphics. It's awesome. Anyway. What's your number 9?
I need to put a little blinders on.
Oh, if you don't know what Timeline is, it's
what is Timeline?
It's literally a timeline. You basically get a hand of cards. I think it's 5, or I think you can do more or less depending on how hard you want to make the game. And you put a card down, and it'll have a date, like 1912. And then you have your set of cards, and you have to find a card that's before or after that card. And you put it down, and you see if you're right. If you're right, it stays out of your hand. You're trying to get all your cards played.
Yep.
If you get it wrong, you have to draw a replacement card. And eventually, it gets harder and harder as you get more cards out. It gets more difficult because you have to find exactly where in that grouping of cards, you have to put your cards. So it's kind of the first few cards go pretty quick, but then after that, it's really kind of the game kind of slows down a little bit because it's really hard. Like, oh, there's 17 cards out. Where does it go? So there you go, timeline.
There you go. We didn't really talk about Title Recall either.
You didn't?
No. Totally a party game. Trying to get people to guess the titles, and you have like 3 rounds. In one round, you can do just about whatever, charades, like saying things and whatever. And then the next one, you only get to use like 3 words or something crazy. And then the last one, only motions. It's crazy fun, crazy awesome. So we're now to my number 9.
Maybe. Hit the wrong button.
I was gonna say.
I thought we were on
IT
8s.
guy?
I thought we were on 8s.
IT guy?
I thought we were on 8s.
All right, my number 9 is Dominion. And as you know, this is like the go-to deck builder, like Granddaddy, but you shuffle up, deal, do your thing, shuffle up, deal. And when you're used to playing it, it goes fast. And with us now, it's like a big production to play this game and set it up because we have all the games combined. And so when we make the 10 card tableau, it's out of all of the games, and so it takes all the sorting and stuff. So usually, because of A, the work involved, and B, how quickly the game goes, we're like, to make this worthwhile, we're at least playing 2 games.
Right.
Like,
right.
always. Never fails. And it's fun because we usually keep the same 10 cards, unless we're feeling really adventurous, and sometimes we'll mix them up between games. But whether you do or not, you always, I don't know, I always afterwards, I'm like, I want to try a different strategy.
Or take
out,
take out a couple of cards that we didn't like. Like, oh, that's not very interesting. We'll take that one out and add a different one.
Yeah, like neither of us use this card, so let's switch it with something else, see what happens. I love it. I mean, I would play it over and over again. And I usually drag him kicking and screaming through it, too. He doesn't seem to mind, because I'm like, yay! It's funny. So, Dominion. Yes. That's true. New Troll, you're right. If we don't know these games by now, well, you may not, if you're new and stuff. But if you don't, we've talked about it a billion times. Go look at some of the older videos.
Yeah. All right. My number 8.
Yes.
Begins a trend that will permeate pretty much the rest of my list.
Party games?
No.
Oh.
My number 8 is One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
Ah, trader games. Now I know where we're going.
So One Night Ultimate Werewolf
Okay.
is... If you played Werewolf, it's like hidden roles. Everybody has a secret role, and you got to figure out who's the good guy and who's the bad guy, and you kill each other off. Well, this one condenses it down to basically one round, and you just basically figure out who's who as quickly as you can, and then figure out who the werewolf is, or if there's not a werewolf, figure that out as well. The reason I play trader games so much is I'm going to play until I get to be the trader.
Which is usually funny because
if it takes like 20 times... I want to be the trader, which is obvious.
It's so true.
It's obvious we keep playing that, so.
Yeah, because you're like, gosh darn it, I still am not the trader.
Yeah,
it's so funny. It just gets sadder.
And sometimes there's like 5 games, like, oh. Still
Meanwhile, like the same person who's kind of mad about being the trader ends up getting it every time.
Right,
and you're
right.
like, why? And you guys are both like unhappy. It's so funny. It's so funny. I love the dynamic.
Yeah, so I like this game. It's fun. It's just quick, easy. It's simple. It has an app that drives the game. Werewolf usually runs, the real Werewolf runs better with a moderator.
Yes.
Whereas this uses an app, which is your moderator, so everyone gets to play.
Is this the one with Eric?
Yes.
That's the other reason it's awesome.
Everybody close your eyes.
You're like, yay! It's Eric! Read us a bedtime story, Eric. Yes.
Here. Let's see.
So,
Is it on? I don't know if I have it on this phone.
oh, yes, I'm sure you do. If not, did we download it on mine? I'm pretty sure. So
Probably
good.
some copyright violation by doing this.
I bet we could call Eric. He won't care. He'll be like, free advertising.
Everyone, close your eyes. Werewolves, wake up and look for other werewolves.
Yay!
Love this game. It's a fun one. It's quick. I just like because I'm talking way too much about this game. In the regular Werewolf, there's a lot of the first round. You're kind of like going, You have no information.
You moved!
You're like, yeah, I heard someone move over there. I mean, it's really like meta stuff.
Oh, it totally is because
this person looks strange. This person isn't talking. There's like, but this one, you know the roles. You jump in. You have instant information, and there's no hiding my role and being sneaky. You're immediately like, I'm this role, and I think you're that role, and you just jump right in.
Well, you kind of have to because there's also these weird, wacky roles that like swap things. So you might think you even know your role, and you don't because it got swapped.
You're not the werewolf, but at the end of the game, you are the werewolf.
And you have to deduce if you got swapped and believe the person that told you, and like that's where the dynamic of. I don't know. That's a good game.
All right, next.
It's a funny game. All right, my number 8. It's funny because
There's another game we never played twice
It's
in a row.
another game. Yes, we do.
I don't know. I don't remember ever playing this twice in a row.
Yes, we have.
Oh, maybe we
multiple times. You're crazy.
I'm old.
Yeah, you are. You're senile because we play this a lot.
What is it?
It's Biblios. And we don't play it as much anymore, but every time we pull it out, we usually play it at least 2 times.
That's true.
You're forgetting because as soon as we're
used
done...
to. I don't think so much anymore we do. We used to play it a lot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We used to play it a lot, and now if we play it, yeah, we probably will play it twice, just because we haven't pulled it out in a while.
Right.
But we decided to trick it up. We house ruled it, and instead of the typical game starts with the little dice, which again, why they use dice, whatever. But the dice are the scorekeepers in this game, and they have them just set at 3. Well, we decided to trick it up, and we just roll the dice, and whatever they roll is that how the game starts, which makes it really wacky and swingy sometimes. But it's fun to mix it up. So we do that, and typically by the time we're done, okay, it's like, oh, I started with a 1 this time. Let's see. Or no, we re-roll the 1s, don't we? So it's not a 1.
We do. We roll 1s and 6s, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5.
2, 3, 4, 5. Give it a little bit of variance. So a lot of times we're like, oh, that was really rough on my favorite color. Okay, we'll try it again, and play another round of it. It's another game that's really quick. It's got 2 phases to it. We love playing it 2-player. It was for a long time. It was like our waiting in line game. Because it takes up so little space. It's just a quick throwdown of the cards, and you're bidding against each other, and stuff. It's really quick, simple. And if you did want to teach it to somebody, it takes you all of like 2 minutes to teach it. That's the best part too. So really fun game. We don't just leave it alone.
Yeah, Julio, I'm notorious for this. If I'm looking straight at the mic, I talk really loud. So if I'm looking at the mic, it's loud. But if I'm working on the computer, like doing tech stuff, my voice is going this way. It's directional, so it's pointing right at us. So if I look away, I'm gonna be a lot softer. Sorry.
You're gonna be a little. You're gonna try.
I'll work on the computer like this. I'll talk like this direction.
Jeez.
All right, you done? You done talking about this silly game?
Yes, and it's not silly.
My number 7 is Insider.
Oh,
Insider.
That's very true.
You could potentially insert werewords in here, but I like Insider better.
Yeah, we tend to.
Insider is basically 20 questions the game, so it is. It's you have a word. There's a person that knows the word, and there's also a trader that knows the word as well, the Insider, and basically you're asking the person questions. You say, hey, is it a thing? Do you find it in a house? Is it bigger than a bread box? The generic 20 questions, and they answer yes or no. It has to be yes no
the
question.
Bread box thing. That's Tommy's question.
But usually the word's so hard that the players may need some guidance to kind of lead them in the right direction. And the job of the Insider
is to lie.
Is to help guide them in the right direction. Not trying to cheat them. So basically, he's not trying to tell them.
It's more fun if you're a traitor. What?
But you don't want to be so obvious that everyone knows that you're the Insider. So if at the end of the game, if they call out that they're Insider, then the players win. If they don't figure out who the Insider is, then the Insider wins by himself. So it's.
And the hunter doesn't like to share victories, so you can guarantee that he's very happy to be the Insider.
I do not like shared victories, which is what it gets. On the topic of shared victories, so Cosmic Encounter Duel came out.
Oh,
I thought,
no.
here we go, a Cosmic Encounter I can play. You can share the victory in that game too. What is this crap? Anyway, so Insider. So if you haven't figured out, there's going to be a lot of social deduction games on my list because that's probably the really in the grand scheme of things, that's the only game I want to play multiple times. So there's a lot of those on the list. So this you're basically getting my top 10 potato chip games and my top 10 social deduction games.
Wow.
They're not all social deduction.
Wow.
But generally.
Paul, I like that you're throwing your top 10 in the chat too. That's greatness. And Point Salad and Suro, I just saw your number 7.
Ooh, Suro's a good one.
So is Point Salad. You haven't played Point Salad,
I haven't played Point Salad.
you might not like it as much because it's so light, but I love both of those games.
All right, next
so
up.
much bigger than a baby's arm. You guys are crazy. All right, my number 7 is one that it drives Hunter crazy, but I love this game, and it's Banned Words.
The game should be banned.
Oh my gosh, I don't understand your okay, so
the rules are so wishy-washy on this.
I don't feel like they are. I swear you make a mountain out of a molehill on these. I don't know. But this is one of those games that we didn't try for the longest time because look at the cover on that. It looks like it's some like adult game and we're like, great, we don't need that. But it turns out the cover is misleading and that game is so much fun and it's hilarious and it's teams.
It's basically Taboo, Tricked Up Taboo.
It is. It's like Tricked Up Taboo if you've ever played that game. But what you're trying to do is you're working as your team trying to get them to guess it. But the other teammates, they get to see what you're going to be having them guess. So they know the words, and they're going to try to figure out a few keywords. I think you get like 6 or 8.
Right.
And words that they might use to give as clues. And so they're going to secretly write those down. And if you use those words as a clue,
they get a point.
They get points too.
So you have to give your clues up.
So you have to do some weird, wacky, roundabout ways to give clues. So it's kind of like Taboo, except you don't know which words are the ones that are going to give them points.
Right.
And I love it. Hunter gets stuck on the technicalities, but I love this game, and it
has some weird rules like you can't add if you add an S it counts if it's past tense, present tense, and then people say no that's past tense of that word, and they're like oh that doesn't count, blah, blah. And then there's arguments and the game stalls out and everyone screams and yells and throws things. And...
See, and I just like make a snap judgment. We're like we're good, move. I don't care.
Yeah, but your snap judgment's against the rules is the thing.
House rules. Party games.
No.
That's how that works. Yeah, see, this is the one time you like make your stand on this game of all the...
It drives me crazy. It says in the rules you can't use, like, past tense.
So then
you can't add... They do it, and then when you call them out, they're like, that doesn't count. Like, yeah, it does count. It's right here in the rules, it counts. Anyway, yeah, I don't like this game.
I don't remember this being that big of an issue, honestly.
Every game I've played, it's me, obviously. I admit, 100% it's me. I'm a stickler because
it's a party game.
Because then people will slightly trick up words to get around saying them.
Okay. If somebody's being sneaky in this,
and I'm like, well, that's the same word as I wrote down. Like, no, it's not. I didn't say that word. And one of the rules is it anyway. I hate this game.
I don't. It's my number 7.
Hashtag Hunter doesn't like banned words.
Neutral put Hunter says fun should be banned.
It should be. In case of this game, it should be banned.
It's fun. Don't listen to so-and-so. Yes. It's just like Taboo. Do you know what I need to do? I just need to give you the buzzer from Taboo. We're playing this game and people annoy you. Just buzz at them.
I would buzz at them all the time.
See, at least you'd be happy. And we'd still get to play the game multiple times. This game's really fun. Don't listen to him, really. It's a great party game. If you like doing the word games and the guessing games and stuff like
it's actually a really
like
good
Time's
game.
Up
I just don't like that the rules are not well defined.
Yeah.
Because if say the words flower,
no, that's true.
and record says petals, and I wrote pedal down, I'd say you said pedal, and you said no, I said petals. I said yes, no, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And then we pull out the rule and it says you can't add an S, it's the same word, and everyone argues. The game just stalls out.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
It needs to be very well defined because in the rules it even doesn't specifically say in the rules this is the list of things you can't do.
Yeah,
it says you shouldn't do vague. These kind of things.
These kinds of things. Yeah, it's a little vague.
And it's like
it's a little vague.
Yeah, the rules should be banned.
Right. Rules should be banned. Chaos and anarchy. Words.
All right, my number 6 is a game that doesn't have rules problems.
Loading.
Mapita Cuba. Love this game.
You would play this game 24
I would
hours
play this. I would play
if he was allowed to.
I would play this game. I would make a game day of me just being the Godfather 17 times.
You would. This is one of the few games that you will repeat.
This is like a this is like a social experiment to me.
No, it is. You're right, actually.
It just feels like it's like in the movies where there's a scientist behind that glass barrier observing like people with like superpowers or something. I'm that scientist going, interesting. I mean, because it's really because it's the dynamics of the group. There's like some people that are very outspoken and energized, and some people that are very quiet, and you got to draw them into the game. I feel like almost like a game master molding a story, right? Because the game master Mafia de Cuba, there's one guy kind of running the game who's trying to figure out what's going on, and all these people have these different roles and different things going on, and you're almost like I said, you're almost like a D&D game master. You're drawing people in, getting them involved, weaving the story. I love this game so much.
I'm sorry, I just pictured you as soon as you said that with like Einstein here in a lab coat going, "And now we shall see who is the liar."
Pretty much, because you get two people. Because invariably in this game you have two people side by side at the table telling two completely different stories, and so then you're like almost like an interrogator, a police interrogator, going, "Okay, you said this, but you said that," and then they start arguing. You get them arguing amongst themselves, and you're just sitting there watching, like, This game is.
It is really funny. This is a funny.
This game, I just love this game, and it's funny because, like I said, you have the quiet ones, but by the end of the game, the quiet ones are screaming at people.
Usually, that or crying. I don't know.
Or crying, yeah. It's a cool game. It's a great party game. It plays a ton of people. I think it plays.
I don't think anybody shy has ever played this with us because I don't think they'd want to.
This is a great convention game where you have you're like at a big giant cafeteria table and you have like 12 people around the table playing this game.
We usually get into the roles pretty good too.
Yeah, there's tons
like
of different
G-Boss,
roles.
you know, yeah, it's
you have the driver, you have the FBI guy.
Oh, they're great. But you don't want to be the FBI guy, of course, so you're blended in and you're cool, you know. It's hysterical.
And just out of nowhere, like, the FBI goes, BANG! It shoots somebody.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's funny. You have little bottles of rum, so when you mess up and accuse someone and you're wrong, you give them a bottle of rum and it makes them...
Not the little ones, the real ones. It's
little cardboard.
I was going to say, like, we didn't go to the store.
That's not a bad idea.
That would be hilarious if you get those little tiny...
tiny bottles of rum and actually give them the bottle of rum.
I might play the game better.
They're going to want to be really accused then, right? Wrongly accused.
I don't know. You might be afraid that I'm the bad guy. Gosh.
All right. So that's
Terrible.
it. Mafia de Cuba. Fun game.
All right. Shocker. My next game is not a party game. But for some inexplicable reason, every time we play this game, my wheels just start turning and I decided I want to do this again and try something different and see what happens, whatever. And that's Paper Tales. I don't know what it is about this game, but I really like finding the different card combinations and tweaking them and messing with them. Especially, now the base game, it's really easy to figure out, honestly, because there's not a ton of cards.
There's only a handful of combos.
There's only, 4 buildings, I think. So everybody's got the same stuff. But with the expansion, they added more buildings, so there's no way that everyone's building everything, right? So the buildings are going to be different. Everybody's going to be a little more unique. You're going to be doing some different card combos, and there's more cards, general cards too. So it adds a lot more individuality in the game, which makes it really fun. And for some reason, every time we get finished, win or lose, it's like, I want to try that again. And this time I'm going to try getting this building. I don't know. There's just something about I love playing with, and I have that puzzly, this is a card game, and it's got that puzzly aspect to it that for some reason I really, really like working with. So this time we pull that out. I want to play it at least twice.
Yeah, I've only played it 2 different sessions, and we played twice both times. Mm-hmm. But
and I love it. I've actually, and you know, I'm not a huge fan of teaching games to people. I've taught this game several times and actually enjoy teaching it to people too. So it's fun. I at a convention, I think it was the Dice Tower meetup or something, I played this several times in a row. Not always with the same people because I was like playing with different people. I think I played with Bonacor once and he taught it to me, and then after that I was like, ooh, I want to play it again, and people were coming around, so we're like, okay, let's all play, and it was a lot of fun. I recommend it. It's pretty cool. Get the expansion though, because after you play it the first couple times, the base game, I feel like you can figure that out pretty good. The only other thing I would say about this game is when you're teaching new people, there is a huge learning curve sort of on...
You don't know what cards to look for, right?
Yeah,
you don't know what the combos are.
A new player is going to get destroyed in this game. Because if you've got people that've already played...
They could luck into a combo.
Well, they could, and some people just have that knack too, but I don't assume that, you know, going into a game with somebody, and it's kind of hard to, I don't want to say, like, go easy on them at the same time, but at the same time be
especially, like you said, the base game, you know the big combos.
You know the big combos so easily, and so you're going to instantly just start killing it with your combos and build up, and a new person's not going to. So it's the only thing about that game that I don't like so much is that new players just get trounced, typically. But other than that, love it. Play it multiple times. Another reason I want to play it twice is new people usually they're
the second time around,
they know what they're doing.
They'll figure out stuff.
The playing field is even, right?
Even or no. My number 5, we haven't played in years, but every time when we used to play this game, I don't think we've played it any less than like 5 or 6 times.
Okay. That sounds about right, but I don't know. Oh!
And that is Coup.
Yes.
Coup used to be one of our go-to game day games, and we would play it for about an hour. Which with Coup, that's like anywhere from 5 to 8 games in an hour.
Depends on how much we're arguing.
Yeah. This game, it's
game.
just you. I mean, you have to force yourself. Well, back in the day, like I said, we haven't played it in a while. Mm-hmm. You have to force yourself to stop playing this game.
You almost do, yeah.
You're like, you have to go. But no more.
It's like, all right, we should move on and play something.
You're right. So it's a real quick. It's a great social deduction game. It's very attacky. It's very in your face. It lasts like 10 minutes. 10 minutes per game. So you can get if you do it, like I said, if you allocate an hour to it, you're going to get 5 to 7 games of it done, probably.
So wonderful.
It's just really, I mean, it's a lot of social deduction games have kind of a build up. You kind of filling out things out, and you slowly kind of figure out, okay, well, maybe this person. No, this game is like from first turn, you're accusing people of things, and you're having mental wars with people about it. So basically, you have these hidden roles. Each person has 2 hidden roles to start the game, and when you take your turn, each role has a different power, and you can take any power you want. You can say, I am this role, and take that action. And it's up to everyone else to decide whether you're telling the truth or not. If they believe you, then you just take the action and you move on. If they don't believe you, they can accuse you, and you have to reveal that you have that role. If you do, then they lose one of their cards. If you don't, you lose one of your cards. And so it's
brutal.
And everyone always tries to take the most powerful role every turn. And eventually you have to go, okay, someone has to accuse somebody because this is out of control. Oh
my gosh, it's so funny. Yeah, if you ever hear somebody in conversation say, no, I'm the Duke, it's referencing Coup because the Duke is like the most powerful card in here.
Right.
Although we've had some rounds of, no, I'm the captain because that guy can take 2 coins, no contest, no qualms. There's a few times that other roles have come into the fore, but the Duke is the best one, right? Because he can just take...
Yeah,
no problem.
And there's roles that can attack other people.
Assassins.
And it's called Coup because you get enough coins, you can just kill someone's card. You pay a bunch of money and they just lose a card. And so when someone gets close to that total, that's when accusations start, when you start disbelieving people.
Right.
So, right. And the best is when you have the Duke.
Hey, Bookie.
And you take that role and you're just waiting for someone to accuse you. You're just being almost obnoxious about it. So someone will accuse you. Anyway, it's a great one. Again, we haven't played. We need to crack this out again. We haven't played this in so long. It's been at least a couple of years.
Yeah,
I want to say. Maybe.
Anyway. Yeah, we do.
In fact, I think we have an expansion that we've never even played.
Yes, we do have that.
Anyway. So what's your number 5?
My number 5.
This low?
You're funny.
I call shenanigans.
Well, it might go higher eventually. The opportunities to play this over and over have not been as high.
I don't think we've played it any less than twice.
It's true. But if I had my way, we'd play like 3 or 4 times or something. And that is Res Arcana. Or Res Arcana.
What is
whatever
that? What did you just say? Wait. Rewind the tape.
Res Arcana.
What was it?
That's the Latin.
Let me hear it.
Race.
Race?
Arcana.
Race?
Race.
Race.
Arcana.
R-A-C-E. Race.
Yes.
R-A-C-E. Race?
Yes.
Race.
No. I believe Eric said it correctly, by the way, during the Dice Tower Awards, just saying.
Race
But,
Arcana.
Yes. Anywho, so, this game, it has the same thing for me as Paper Tales. I don't know what it is about that whole puzzly aspect. And again, it's another cool card game, and you're managing your resources in your hand, and you're trying to go for these victory points and cool combos and blah, blah, blah. And every time, and this one lasts a little longer, I think, than Paper Tales, but we get to the end of it.
It's about the same.
I guess it is about the same. Yeah, you said that. I always want to do it again and try something different. I don't know.
Or use some different places of power, whatever they're called, the power super cards.
I always want to tweak it and play it and fiddle with it and try it again.
And you're gonna end up with a new deck too, right? A completely different set of cards, right?
I love it. And again, the variability of play is higher, I think, in this game than Paper Tales.
Oh yeah.
And this is, as you know, rocketed up. It's one of my favorite games, period, now.
And it's this low. I'm shocked.
Well, the other ones we have always played a lot.
I don't think we've ever played Res Arcana. Race Arcana.
What is that?
I don't know. Trying to be fancy.
That's not
Race
fancy.
Arcana.
Oh, that was just no. Arcana.
I don't think we've ever played this one less than twice. I haven't. Maybe you have. I haven't ever played it less than twice.
Maybe.
Anyway.
I try not to only play it once. That's the point. I love it.
My number 4, coincidentally enough, is Race Arcana.
What? Race Arcana.
Arcana.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Like Arkansas?
Arkansas? Race Arkansas?
So yeah, I like this game. It's one of my new favorites. It's quick. It's easy. It's a card game with resource management. It's almost in a way, it's kind of almost a micro game because you have a hand of 8 cards and that's your entire deck.
Well, it's not a micro. Well, yeah, I see where you're going with that.
I mean, it's not like you got this massive deck or you add more cards to your deck or anything.
It's true.
That's your whole world, other than the places of power and the little
there's
skill
skill
cards you get, but
micro game.
Yeah. There's much too much
Tex
going on.
Arcana.
Tex Arcana. I like it. Tex Arcana.
No.
I like it. It's good. Who said that?
Kabuki.
Bonus points.
And Neutral repeated us, and yeah, you guys, no.
So I like this game. It's a good one. Rebecca loves it like 10 times more than I do, but like I said, I've never played this game once. It's always been multiple times. So
I try to always play it multiple times. I love it.
Because it's so much game in half an hour. It's like, wow, we can play this again in less than 2 games in less than an hour.
That's true.
It's crazy. It's like,
so why not?
And
it feels like a bigger game.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a heavier game, but it's over. It's like it's a race to see who gets it done first. It's a points race, right? You're trying to get a certain number of points.
Yes.
All right, you're number 4.
Why?
Hey, we just got this game. And you make your box way too big. This is where I sit. You got to make this smaller.
All right. You can't even read that.
Yes, you can.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to make them huge. Block him out like the sun. Okay, so my number 4 is Draftosaurus. So I got introduced to this lovely little gem. You're such a troll hunter. On a camping trip and was instantly charmed with this game. I absolutely love this game. And we just pulled it out, played it with the Wii one just a few days ago, actually, right?
Sunday.
Yeah. And instantly, boom, boom, we got a couple plays in. I mean, it's one of those, as soon as you're done with it, it's like, let's play again. And I love it. This is such a cute little game. It doesn't take that long to play, and it's just really fun. And I love rolling the die and then figuring out, you're like, okay, I only have a certain area where I can put just manipulating it. And you're drawing the dinosaurs out of a bag, so it's not like you're going to get the same stuff every time.
Right.
And it's got two different boards, so the mat is different. Some of them have different combinations and stuff that you have to do to, like, one side has, you have to do all the same type of dinosaur, but if you flip it over, that same segment is going to have, like, you have to alternate colors or something. So there's different puzzly aspects to it every time. And I think it's a great family game, and it's just cute. Super fun. I love it. I will play this over and over.
Yeah, it's a cute little game.
Again. So.
Cute little game.
Draftosaurus. Get it. Play it.
Yeah, it would be a really good introduction to drafting for maybe a newer gamer. Nessa plays it no problem. It's pretty simple. Your options are fairly limited, so it's a lighter game, easier to teach, easy to learn. And I don't say set collection, I say set collection. Set collection.
Oh dear, troll.
Set collection? Yeah. All right, my number 3. We're already at 3s?
Yeah.
Wow, we're just buzzing along.
Flying.
All right, my number 3 it was called, like, as soon as this show started by someone, I think it was, I don't know who said it. Let's see if I can scroll back and see who said that I would.
You gonna give them the full credit?
Yeah, let's give him some credit. It was James.
James. Oh, rockstar.
My number 3 is Spyfall. Now,
you know him.
This one has kind of a, I don't know if it's asterisk is the right word. It has a caveat. We don't follow the actual game rules because there's actually rules to the game in terms of scoring.
Oh yeah, that.
It's like,
but a lot of party games.
I think you get a point if you win and first one to get a certain number of points.
We've never kept
It's got
score.
some kind of. So I'm just talking about. Way we play it is you do one round, see who wins. Load back up, do another round, see who wins. We don't keep score or anything. So I'm considering those multiple plays, even though technically we're not following the rules. And a lot of these party style games, you don't score them right.
Yeah.
You just kind of play around and then reset and do another round, reset and do another round.
It's true.
We usually end up playing
20.
5 to 10 rounds. What did you say?
20.
Yeah, maybe 5 to 10 rounds.
Depends on the day. Oh, easy 10. An easy 10. I mean, everybody's like, okay, let's try new plays. It's just ridiculous.
Because it's interesting. You got different places. We play with the rolls, so the rolls are hilarious.
Yes, they are.
So we play with the rolls, and so you want to just it's like just almost like an improv, a round of improv.
It really is.
So it's
how ridiculous can you be with your roll?
And
and confuse.
Like I said, I don't think I've ever played less than like 5 rounds of this game.
That's true. Yeah, because even when I've played it with groups and like at school, and it stressed out some of my shyer people. But even so, we still played multiple rounds before they were like, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah,
it was funny.
This one is probably one of the highest stress social deduction games. So just like, and it's rough because you could literally be the traitor. Obviously, be the traitor the first round that you play, first time you ever play this game, and you're like, which is funny because they usually get figured out like in 30 seconds, and then you move on. They kind of get the idea of what's happening.
Well, but we house ruled that to make it easier, and that's something that I think helps. Is we printed out. Hunter got the location card, and he laminated them and made copies so that everyone's got them. And we kind of made a house rule that while you are asking and being asked a question, both sides, they have to look down at their card while they're talking, so that you get an opportunity to sit there and like panic if you're the spy and be going, okay, you know what it is, and then also to just make it kind of level the playing field a little bit, because some people, like, we've played it enough, if it's the older one, the new one not so much, like, we'll know all the locations, so I wouldn't necessarily have to look at the card.
I do the first time we play is I read them all out loud.
Yeah.
So you kind of have it in your head.
At least get it,
what some
wrap
of
your
them
brain
are.
around it.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest flaws in this game is the fact that the rules tell you to put the rolls out in the middle of the table, and of course the person that's trader is going to be like,
well, yeah.
and
the rest of you don't care.
It's just way too obvious who the trader is. It's hard to be subtle about looking at. No comment?
I'm just ignoring you at this point.
Basically trying to side-eye the list, like, I'm not looking at the list. But yeah, I did print out cards with all the rules. I needed that with the time travel version. I need to print out all the rules. Oh yeah,
the time travel version.
Made little cards,
really fun,
and basically
too.
while the person's asking your question, we tell everyone.
We just passed it with the time travel one until but yeah, it's so much nicer. The way you did printed them out and everything it's super nice. It's worth it, guys. You don't have to laminate them. Just print out a little copy for everybody.
Yeah, just
makes your life
and
a lot easier.
You could literally you could do just one and just move it around to everyone else. But it's easier just to hand them out to everybody. Everyone has it in front of them. And like I said, the rule is when you're being asked a question, you look down at your sheet so that everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love it. Spyfall. It's a great. It used to be one of my top 10 games. It's kind of creeping down a little bit because
We haven't got to play it in a while.
well, that and Rebecca is not very good at this game.
That is messed up.
She is so bad at this game.
So it's dropping on your list because I suck at this game?
This may be her least... What is it? The game she's the worst at. Because if you're the trader, I know it within like 10 seconds.
I am affronted, sir.
She lifts
It's
the
so
card.
not-
She lifts the card up and looks at the trader card, and her face just flushes red, like instantly.
I hate you so much.
So when they hand out the cards, I just look at Rebecca and like, okay, she's not the trader. She gets, for whatever reason, this game either makes you nervous or whatever, more than any game. It's hilarious.
I don't know.
Which is funny because you're so good at a lot of other social deduction games.
I know.
This one is like your what is it? Your Achilles heel? What is it? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. What's your number 3?
I love that I've killed your list for you.
Yeah.
My number 3, this is another one where scoring may or may not occur in it.
I don't think we've ever scored this one either.
I don't think we have.
Except that first time we played it.
The first time we played it. And the first time we played it, I'm still shocked we didn't get kicked out of the building for it. And that is Ugtech. This game, good luck finding it. It's going to be hard to find, unfortunately. And someone please, oh my gosh, reprint this game.
I don't think it's going to get reprinted because of the blow-up clubs.
Why not? What's wrong with that?
Because they break fairly easily, and people like contact the company, and my club broke.
It's called go to the dollar store and get another one. This game is greatness. How often do you get to go and just beat the crap out of your spouse while they're building, whether they do a good job or a bad job? You have to hit them with a club to tell them if they're doing it correctly or incorrectly as they build something that you're telling them to build. What's wrong with this game? Nothing. It's wonderful. So yeah. So you're like, hey, you did a good job. Thump. You did a bad job. Thump, thump. He knows what I mean by that. And then you tell them like, okay, you have all these cool little colored blocks of different shapes and stuff, and they have pictures of them in different formations. And you have to say you have the mat on the dark gray side with a yellow cylinder and a red triangle next to it. And so I have to be like, and yellow is like, ugh. And you shrug. Okay, so I'll be like, ugh, and then I have to tell him over there, and he's like, here? And I go, smack, yes. And if he's like, what about over here? And he does something stupid with it, and I'm like, smack, smack. And I mean, by the time we had finished competing, it was
screaming
like,
at each other.
We were screaming at each other. We were shrieking with laughter. I think I was crying. I was laughing so hard. My stomach ached after playing this game. It is amazing.
And of course, you want to swap out roles. And
you do? Because...
But, of course, if you played with the rules of the game, then each player does a certain number of rounds. But, again, we just kind of play
it just
until
devolves into a general beating.
Yeah.
I mean, competition where you build things.
I think we did this live.
Yes, we did. But it's just you and me. It's not the same.
Yeah.
We need to film a group one of these because it's so... glorious. And I seriously can't breathe by the time we're done. It's amazing that you understand even my stupid one-word grunts because I'm like, ugh. It's such a good game. This really is. This game should be out. I do not understand why this game is not in print.
Yeah.
Although, in all fairness, it'd be really easy for you to build your own game of this because you could just go to Lowe's and get some wood things.
Yeah, but you need to make all the cards. You have to figure out the rules. You probably could...
Yeah.
Create your own version of it.
You can create your own version of it pretty easily.
It'd be a lot of work, though.
Hey, what else you got to do right now?
I don't know. My number 2 is a new favorite called The Crew.
I had this on my short list, actually.
The Crew. Again, I assume a lot of people consider one game session like multiple rounds, but I'm considering each little level of the game a separate play because you could play one level and stop, right?
That was the only reason I didn't put that on. I didn't know if that would be considered controversial.
I don't care if it is or not. First time we played it, how many did we play with David?
Oh gosh, David, are you in the chat tonight? I don't remember. We played a bunch.
Like 15 I want to say 15
rounds.
And then we played it recently. We've only played it once, but we played
like 10
until we won 10.
Yeah, that's true.
We actually played like 12 or 13 rounds.
I don't think we lost that many.
I think we lost 2 or 3, didn't we?
I think we only lost 1.
No, anyway, we played 10.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't that many.
We completed 10 modules of it, so.
Yep.
Yeah, so again, a lot of people will probably consider one session just however long you play.
It's just like an addiction.
But,
you're just like, okay, it's really quick.
But I consider it, that's one more module. Let's put one more module.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost it. We got to beat this one module. You play until you beat the module.
And then you just,
so that's exactly the very definition of what this list is about, is that
absolutely
you just can't stop. You eventually have to say, okay, no more.
Yeah.
We're done. We're done for now.
Yeah.
We need to get back to it again.
We do, actually. You might want to put that out and remind us. That, and we're working on our Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth, so we can just, like, alternate.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't put on my list. I don't know if you did it. I guess we'll figure out here shortly. I didn't put campaign games.
I didn't either because I felt that was cheaty because you have to repeat those.
Correct.
So.
And you usually want to crank out several at once
to be a devil's advocate, don't you technically have to repeat the crew too? It's kind of campaigny. You're supposed to.
Well, kind of, yes. What's your number 2?
All right, my number 2. I'm pretty sure I saw flit through the chat.
This is the one I missed.
I knew it was the one you missed. As soon as you looked up there, I was like, it's on a
shelf.
Camera.
It's over here. There's a shelf. We have Tumbling Dice, Fireball Island,
and
Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, Hungry Hippos. It's got a lot of random games.
And
Telestrations.
This is the one I missed.
This is another game where I typically end up laughing so hard I'm about to cry because this game is amazing.
And this is another one we don't score right, because if you score right, you play it like 7 or 8 times.
And we played it like 40. So, be that as it may. This is another game we just are not going to leave alone. We love to play it. I've played it with my students. I've played it with family. Played it with friends. It always hits. It's always funny. And it's another one of those that I could see us getting kicked out of a building for playing because we always laugh about it. The things you start with, it's playing telephone, if you know what telephone is, except you're drawing. So you're going to get your little flippy book, and you turn to the first page, and you get a card, and say it says, cat on a hot tin roof. So you draw that. You draw a little kitty cat on a hot tin roof. And then you close your book up, pass it, and Hunter's got to guess what your picture is, and so he flips to the one behind that, and he writes down what he thinks it is, and he just says, kitty cat. And then the next person flips it to that answer, and then they have to draw a picture based off of what he wrote, and so until it gets all back around to you, and you get to see if what you originally started with actually makes it to you. And it is so good. So good. We always end up, and the fun thing too is some of the cards are blanks, which means you can put whatever you want in them. And people always put just something hilarious that gets completely misconstrued.
Usually some inside joke or something.
Usually inside jokes or something. Or like when we played with Game Group, they had some family showdown references or something. And, of course, everyone's thinking it's something regular on the card, right? So it just gets messed up all the way around, and it's hilarious. Love this game. This is another one that would be really good to film a group like live, because we could show the pictures.
We'd have to find a way to put the camera, to put the, like, have a second camera pointing, and we can slide the pictures.
I'm telling you, that hover cam thing I was looking at.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so or we could have it follow like one person playing like over their shoulder, and like see their flip book, and then we could show. There's a couple ways I think we could film this would be really good, but this game is fantastic. And again, it's another one that you're like, scoring whatever.
Yeah, we played the scoring once, and we went through like 3 rounds of it, and we're like, we're done, because it was very subjective and confusing.
It kind of was, and we also just didn't care at that point. This is such a fun game. It's like, okay, you're almost ruining it by scoring it, right? And that's not what the heart of this game is about, right? Yeah. And Kabuki's saying the same thing here, is that, no one uses it. It's a lot of party games are that way, though. I feel like they feel there's some need to justify it as a game by putting some kind of scoring in it. And I get that. But the nice thing is you can totally disregard that and have a blast. And in this case, play it 47 times and no one cares.
So this would I just looked quickly. This would have been my number 7.
That low? Oh, wait a minute. Actually, that's really high for you.
My number 7.
That's true. And you like to play this game over and over too.
All right, what's my number 1? What's my number 1? Don't look.
You already put Spyfall. It's
We have the same number 1, you goober.
Oh yeah, duh. We do have the same number 1.
Oops. I misclicked.
Oh no! Fire the IT guy.
I did your number 1 instead of my number 1.
Oh no! But our number 1s are the same.
Yeah, but anyway.
It overlapped?
I'm not going to explain it. My number 1 and her number 1 is...
Deception, Murder in Hong Kong!
Yeah, this is the potato chip game for us. I mean, it is just like... It's another one of the games where you have to say, okay, we played this for 3 hours. We need to play something else.
We need to stop. And then you're like, nah, we don't need to stop.
Yeah,
we can make an entire game day of just this, I think.
I think every time I've pulled this out at a convention, I would have drop in and drop out people for like hours.
Oh yeah, you could keep rolling a game of this.
And it's always always when the new people sit down, they play, and then they're like, I want to be the forensic scientist. So they play, and then the new people will come in. Oh, they want to swap in, and everyone's swapping in and out of playing the clue giver, and it just play it over and over and over and over again.
This is by far my most played game. I have about 70, that's 70 plays of it, because I take it, some of my upper level classes, I'm very privileged, they're smaller groups, and this game plays up to 14. So after finals, I'll take my small classes, and we'll play this game, and they always call it just the murder game.
The murder game.
They're like, they get excited at finals. It makes me so happy because
the
they're
principal
like,
walks by.
Oh, they think it's hilarious.
Let's play the murder game.
Yeah.
What?
They're used to it. It's my class, but yeah, it's great because they're always like, I can't wait for finals to be done because then we get to kill people. Ha ha ha. And,
right.
But the conversations that this game just brings out is fantastic because the forensic scientist is trying to guide the conversations, and sometimes inadvertently derails them because then it's like they died by poisoning and they're like, oh, can this be considered a poison? And then there's this huge debate about whether this thing's actually a poison.
Some tangent.
And then there's scientific discussions.
Somehow a knife becomes poisoning or something.
Oh, it's fantastic. And then what's even better is I love the fact that there's a murderer and there's an accomplice, and the accomplice is probably my favorite role in the game.
Yeah.
Because you can totally implicate yourself.
That's what I do for the
accomplice. And that's the best way to do it.
The way as I basically unintentionally, make it look like I'm unintentionally messing up and pointing the blame at myself. It's like, well, yeah, I guess that could be me.
See, I like to, I shouldn't even give away this, but it's so fun. I like to, if I'm the accomplice, my favorite thing is to pick somebody who's really argumentative and throw them under the bus so that they're like, they get all blustering, like, but it's not, blah, blah, blah. It's like, look at them. They're so defensive. I think they're guilty.
Yeah, this game is
it's so much fun.
Awesome.
It's such a blast. And it's just...
I really want to play this in a larger group. I think the biggest group I've played with is 8.
No, we played with a full table, I thought, at West Texas.
No.
I'm pretty sure we did.
No, it wasn't a full table.
It wasn't?
No, I think 8's the most I've ever played with.
Oh, I've played with a full group. And
yeah,
it's
I haven't played.
Ball.
And I haven't played all. I haven't played all the roles either.
I have. You know what? I have not either. I didn't want to overcomplicate them because I had too many new people.
Yeah.
Some of the new ones from the expansion look amazing, and I have not played them yet, and I really want to. And I think I might, if everything works out in the next year, I would like to try that one on my students because some of them know the game well enough. I think we could pull it off. And our board game groups played them. Our at school,
this game, yeah,
it's just it's so good.
This game hits on all cylinders. It's a social deduction game where you don't it's not in your face, as in your face.
Yeah, it's still a little bit, but
it's not like you're the traitor and you just immediately have to start lying like crazy.
No, you don't have to say a peep.
You can kind of just play like everybody else and go, oh, well, maybe it's over here or it's over here, and it's. Immediately you have information. You're playing the game. It's not the like Werewolf. You're kind of just like randomly killing people and seeing how people react and stuff like that. It's you immediately go in the game. You have information. There's a person guiding and kind of direct. Even though they're not talking, they're guiding and directing the game and kind of making the game move. It's just. New players can play this game without any problem because they understand. You basically relate it to Clue, which most people have played Clue.
Or know about it, yeah.
It's kind of like Clue. You've got two items that are trying to identify the person.
Mm-hmm.
You play with this more simple roles, like she says. If it's new people, once you play a little more, you can add in different roles. It's just it's just a fun game. And like I said earlier, invariably
somebody wants to be the forensic scientist.
Everybody wants to rotate.
Everybody
wants to rotate. Like, oh, I can do that better than you, and jump in.
Funny, yeah.
And so eventually, a lot of games, every single person at the table takes a round at playing the clue giver.
That's usually kind of how that works if we're doing it with a game group, right? Our game groups are like, okay,
unless they don't want to do
it.
Some people just don't want to deal with that. But
that's true too. But it's so
great
good.
game. The expansion's really good.
I love the expansion.
It's just a solid.
It added 2 players, which made it really helpful, and it didn't hurt the game. You know, sometimes you add players and you're like, this one definitely benefits. I love it. So many good things. But yep, there you go.
That's it. Kind of lately, a lot of our lists, we've had the same number 1. It's funny.
It is interesting. Well, this one really just jumps out at you because inevitably, and it's funny because it's not even just us that'll say it. Before we can even say anything, it's usually the other players are going, let's play that again. And that tells me this has to be.
So if you want to see a live play of this, like an epic live play of this, you go to what's the name of that?
Was it Pub Meeple?
Pub Meeple. Go to Pub Meeple's YouTube channel and look up Deception. It was
West Texas
Con. It was
4 years ago.
Yeah, it was Scott Morris, me, you,
Dan
King, Sam,
Wanda.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my gosh, that game was hilarious.
We still talk about the calendar in the bathroom.
We do. Dan King had this thing about talking about a calendar in a bathroom. That was his defense for something, and I
think we played two games of it.
Yeah.
So it was really...
Yes, even then we played 2 games.
Yeah, even though we were being filmed, we still played it twice.
Yeah. That was so funny. That was a great game.
I was the murderer in one game, and I think I won as the murderer, or I was the accomplice. I can't remember. Anyway.
Yeah, me and Scott, I think.
Where you and Scott were one.
We're probably spoiling it. Go watch. I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
We also played with a lot of the same people off camera during the con. Everyone was into that game so much.
It had just come out, so it was kind of like the new.
It was the new thing, and everybody we played that game so many times at that convention. But yeah, I mean, it hasn't slowed us down. We still keep playing it.
All right, so here's the list from last time.
Okay.
From 2000, I want to say 2017.
Okay.
Catch this list, Rebecca's list, and like I said, I don't think very few of these we play multiple times. So
okay.
Number 10, Say Anything Family Edition.
We play that multiple times.
No.
Yes, we do.
No. Splendor.
I
Castle of the Mad King Ludwig.
I always want to play that.
Imperial Settlers.
I always want to play that one.
Exactly. Yeah. I think you had a different mindset.
I did.
Games you want to play multiple times.
Yeah, it is.
Above and Below.
Yeah.
Which is a campaign game. Viticulture, which we'd never play that game.
No, Near and Far's campaign. Not Above and Below.
Oh, you're right. No, I think I wrote Above and Below. I think your list was Near and Far.
Really?
Maybe I'm crazy.
I think you're crazy.
I don't know why I wrote Above and Below. I'm pretty sure it was Near and Far. Viticulture, All Creatures Big and Small.
Yeah. We do usually
Mystic
play
Veil. No, we don't. I don't think we ever played that game.
All Creatures Great and Small? Big and Small? Yeah, we've played it multiple times.
Biblios, which was on your list this time. And Pandemic Legacy.
Yeah, you're right. I did have a different mindset when we did that one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So my list is, number 10 was Onitama. It was my number 10 this time. Tumbling Dice, Pitch Car, One Night Ultimate Werewolf, which was my number 8. Saboteur, Santorini, Looping Chewy, Star Realms, and the top 2 made the list this time, Coup and Spyfall.
Yeah, there you go. Kabuki asks, have we played Empires of the Void 2 yet?
You have to find out on Tuesday. But yes, we did play Empires of the Void 2.
You just spoiled it! You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm not going to talk about it. But so you watch Tuesday, and we will talk about how much we liked it. Or didn't like it.
You're terrible.
Did we like it?
You're horrible. You are horrible at this.
Oh.
Don't tell him any Christmas secrets, folks. Just saying.
So, next Tuesday is a variety show. We'll talk about games we've played.
We're apparently talking about Empires of the Void 2.
And we'll be talking about Empires of the Void 2. Among other things. And the following Tuesday, basically I did a poll over on our guild. Directions to the guild's in the description of this video. Go to the guild. I let you guys vote on our top 10. You voted on this one. This is the one that won.
Good job, guys.
Potato Chip Games. The second place game was games that we've played but we do not currently own.
Ooh, that's going to be a hard list. Why? Did you give them the option or did they write that in?
I gave them the option. Because it's a repeato list. I did some of the repeatos. I did some new ideas. Anyway, that's going to be the Tuesday following. What's funny is I got in my head that was the list we were doing tonight. So I already got my list made.
Must be nice.
It's already made and ready to go.
Ridiculous.
So I've already done my played but not owned games. Which, looking at a list, almost every game I enjoy, we own.
Somebody has an addiction.
It was
problem.
like scrounging. Like, I gotta find some games.
Somebody has a problem.
I had to find some games to
we
put
need
on
to
this
have
list.
an intervention.
Yeah, it was.
An intervention for Mr. Hunter.
It's funny that I made my list and there's no games I rate a 10, a handful of 9s, and lots of 8s.
Because you're like, I must have this game. Yeah.
Game that would be top of my list.
Did you back Dead Reckoning?
Yes, I did.
You better have, because otherwise...
All in, everything. Because I showed her the preview video for it, and she's like, her jaw drops like... I've never seen her like excited about a game like that. So
yeah, it's been a long time.
It's like a Mystic Vale becomes a real game.
And that's what I've been waiting for years.
Well, they made that adventure game, but it kind of didn't go so well from what I've seen. So yeah,
I'm ready.
We did all in, and I'm gonna when they open up the thing, I'm probably gonna buy the coins and everything else, all the extras. So
Tommy, the list that you own, and Jeff and Bailey too. Right.
Well, Tommy, spoilers. A good chunk of my games are Tommy's. Tommy owns those games.
I believe that because he likes those heavy games like you do. So
and I don't feel like we play them so infrequently. I don't feel like I need to buy them.
Right.
Number 1 on my list. Where is it? Number 1 would have been this until recently. Do you see? He's got a problem.
This
would have been number 1, but it's not number 1 anymore. It's still in shrink. This would have been my number 1, runaway number 1, but I bought it. So.
Yeah, see, neutral's like I don't generally play games I don't own. And that's the case for us typically, too, because we like to research before we play, except for at cons. And then we play something new, and then Hunter's like, my precious, and then he has to buy it.
If I really enjoy a game, I'm going to buy it. It's just the way it works.
He's got a problem.
I do. Help. I've gotten away from buying games that I kind of like.
But you write it off as, Rebecca likes this game.
No, well, if you really like it, I'll still get it.
Yeah.
But I've gotten away from the games where I go, that's pretty fun. I used to buy those games.
That's true,
But I don't buy those anymore. I have to,
I just thought it was the pandemic.
Either I have to play it and really enjoy it, or I've watched reviews and I'm like, this is really good. I've kind of scaled back what I purchased.
I thought it was just the pandemic has interfered with shipping and stuff is the only reason you slowed down.
Although I did buy some games recently that were kind of borderline-ish.
Well, that was for the collection, though.
Yeah, true.
See, he's got a problem. Do you have a problem, too? Do we all need to have, like, a group intervention?
A group intervention?
This will be Board Gamers Not So Anonymous. Because, well, you know who he is. And all.
Alright, so that's it. So next Tuesday is our variety show. We'll talk about Empires of the Void, among other things. And the Tuesday after, top 10 games we've played, but we do not own. I almost bought a game that was on my list today. I didn't buy it, though.
Because you want to wait till your list is done and then you buy it?
and then I'll buy it.
I so called that. I knew it. You don't want to try to figure it out and put something else on your list.
I'd have to redo my list. That's the only reason I haven't bought it. It was actually on sale.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
You know what you're going to do is make sure you push the slowest shipping so it gets here afterwards. You're like, I didn't order it until... Oh, you didn't think of that? That's a lie. You thought of that. You already thought of that. Friends of BGG. Yeah. Kabuki, yes.
That's funny. That's funny.
Board Gamers Infamous. That works.
All right. That's it. We're done.
All right, peeps. It was wonderful to stick around and chat with y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care. See you in a week. Bye. What do you wax on, wax off? What is this?